Hello, my name is Krithin Visvesh and welcome to my asynchronous conference talk for the 2024 Fall Symposium. I'm a junior in high school and I live in Raleigh, North Carolina. Today I'll be talking about the factors I use to predict the top 10 ranked players in tennis and their respective probabilities to win the US Open this year. So, predicting the winner of a tennis match can be useful for betting. So one quote I found that I really liked is eat your betting money, but don't bet your eating money. Anyway, moving on. Here's a table of contents of what I'll be going over in this presentation. I'll be starting off with my research question, and then a brief background of the US Open tournament, then 3, the methodology used to answer the question, then 4, the results, 5, a discussion of the results, and 6, a conclusion. So, moving on to my question. What are the probabilities of the top 10 ranked male tennis athletes to win the 2024 US Open? This was a thesis question that guided my research. So the background. Predicting wins is an interesting aspect of sports that is very difficult to do, especially for tennis. Tennis has a rich history. In fact, the origins of the sport trace back all the way to the 12th century. It used to be an indoor sport, but the outdoor version gained more popularity only in the 19th century when Wimbledon, the oldest tennis tournament in existence, was introduced. Wimbledon was played on grass, but tennis offered other surfaces to play on, like hardcourt and clay, which made the sport so diverse. The unique scoring system and the constant moving on every single point has made the sport as popular as it is today. Each game can produce an unexpected outcome and shock fans from all over the world. There are 4 prestigious tournaments in tennis known as the Grand Slams: the US Open, the French Open, Wimbledon, and the Australian Open. It is winning a Grand Slam finals match puts you in the extraordinary category of tennis athletes. It is a feat that very few can achieve, as it requires utmost dedication and hard work. Specifically, the US Open is one of the Grand Slams that are more accessible for tennis fans to watch because of the location in Queens, New York. Yes, it is the last slam in the calendar year, but it arguably contains the most excitement, with top-ranked athletes fighting to secure another accolade. Winning a Grand Slam can be a significant milestone in an athlete's career and can add to their legacy in the sport. Tennis and any other sport in general is a great opportunity to witness rising stars and their talent in action on the biggest of the stages. Many people love to predict matches before they occur. For instance, coaches can provide insights for the team, and bettors can use prediction models to make informed decisions. That being said, whether it is on betting sites or sports channels, there's a strong desire to figure out who will be the champion this year. Moving on to the methods. I use Python and its helpful libraries within it like sklearn, pandas, and stats models. First, I use sklearn or scikit-learn, which is a machine learning and statistical modeling library with many tools within Python. However, I use sklearn mainly for creating a logistic regression model. It is a statistical model that models the log odds of a particular situation as a combination of one or more independent variables. In simple terms, it is used to analyze a dataset with independent variables and determine an outcome. Secondly, I use pandas because that is the main library that works with datasets and has functions for cleaning, analyzing, and manipulating data. And 3, I also use a stats models module in Python for regression analysis. Adding on, I will also be using an 80-20 split, where 20% will be the testing size and 42 will be used as the random state. So this is just a glimpse of the data analysis tools Python offers, as there are many other useful tools as well. But now, moving on to how regression actually works. Regression is a statistical technique that gets the correlation or relationship between variables in a dataset and quantifies whether they are significant or not. Here's an example of logistic regression, but there are other types of regressors that work to relate a dependent variable to one or more independent variables. So, how did I do it? First, I loaded in my datasets from Kaggle. There's a separate dataset from each year, so I loaded it in from the years of 2016 to 2023. Then, I concatenated them together, or in other words, joined them so that one dataset would have all the data from those 8 corresponding years. Then I filtered the data so that I would only include US Open matches. After that, I added the win and round columns as you can see on the right. And since win is my dependent variable and the round variable is needed since each player plays in a total of 7 matches, assuming they make it to the final. After that, I trained my model to calculate match probability win rate just using the player and opponent ranks. Finally, I had to find the average opponent rank and calculate the log odds through each round by iterating through a loop with 10 values corresponding to the top 10 ranked athletes, as you can see. So, using player rank and their respective opponent rank, I was able to figure out the top 10 players and their respective probabilities. As you can see, Jannik Sinner, Novak Djokovic, and Carlos Alcaraz have the highest probabilities as they are the big three of tennis as of now. So, I found the percentage probabilities, but I started to realize something. Why were the percentage probabilities so low? And why did the percentage probabilities between each rank have no solid gap? A normal world number one should have a 20 to 30% chance to win a Grand Slam, but in my project, the percentages were just so low. Furthermore, I asked ChatGPT and they said that for an average world number one player, they have a 30 to 35% chance of winning it all. So the model accuracy ended up being 68%, which was higher than any other models I researched in my literature review. So why was this happening? I tried many things like increasing the dataset size to all hard court matches, instead of just US Open matches. I also tried including more variables like the players' rank points, the opponent's rank points, their respective ages, but all of them led to a lower model accuracy and a lower correlation coefficient. So, I came to the conclusion that the player's rank and the opponent's rank are simply not enough to determine a tennis athlete's probability to win a Grand Slam tournament. Other factors may be in play, and it is difficult to pinpoint the exact factors due to the unpredictable nature of the sport. So, how could I improve my study? I could include more factors, specifically that being UTR, or Universal Tennis Rating. It is a good way to quantify a tennis athlete's skill and it is also the world's most accurate tennis rating. A way that I could include UTR without too much of a hassle is to start with a new dataset to extract data. If that new dataset had UTR as a variable, it would help increase the model's accuracy and increase the percentage probabilities by a significant amount. Well, they say all good things come to an end, so I just want to end off by saying thank you for this opportunity to present at the Fall Symposium, and feel free to email me any questions since this is an asynchronous presentation. And if you're a tennis bettor, remember to ace your predictions. Thank you.